안녕하세요, welcome to the land of Korean cinema. How many of you are fans of Hwang Jung-min? He's the star of such movies as Veteran, Ode to My Father, The Spy Gone North, and many more. A fantastic actor who deserves a lot more recognition worldwide. So let's talk about his latest movie, Hostage, Missing Celebrity, or In Jail. Derek, I hope you're watching this. Guys, go check out the channel Knacks and Knick, and go send my friend Derek some love. The movie stars Hwang Jung-min, Jae-bom, Ryu Kyung-soo, Ho-jung, and others. Hwang Jung-min plays himself, a very respected actor in Korea who gets kidnapped in the middle of the night. He wakes up in a house somewhere far away from the city, tied to a chair. At first he thinks it's a prank, but he soon realizes that things are actually serious, and the kidnappers want a lot of money from him. Hwang Jung-min plays himself. How fun is that? And although I did enjoy the movie overall, he's absolutely the best part of it, no doubt. I don't think I've ever seen him doing a slacker job anywhere. This man is a true professional, and this movie is a living proof of that. For the most part, he's tied to a chair or to a pole, so he really has to use his face to act and to communicate. Korean actors are really good at that for some reason, and Hwang Jung-min does a fantastic job at it. He really sells this movie just by his acting alone, so if you're a fan, this is a must. Also, I was really surprised just how dark and intense this movie is. When I say intense, I mean that it's only 93 minutes long. The pacing is really tight, things are constantly moving along. It's really hard to get bored while watching this movie. If you're looking for a decent action thriller, you might be at the right place. I also really like the movie's consistent atmosphere. Keeping the movie serious and dark all throughout its runtime is what makes this a thriller. There's a definite sense of claustrophobia in the movie. Most of the locations are small, confined spaces that can instantly make you feel uncomfortable. I like that. I also enjoyed the action here. I wouldn't say that the movie is action-packed, but when it's there, it works. There's a pretty good car chase scene, for example, which I thought was very well done. But just overall, I think the movie delivers on both the action and the thriller fronts. And as it turns out, this is director Park Ham-sung's first feature film. And while there are decisions he made that I don't agree with, overall this is a pretty competently directed movie. I'm actually curious to see where the director will go after this. But this is definitely not a perfect movie, and my biggest problem are its villains. It's a 4-member group, they have a lot of screen time, and neither one of them is interesting. They're all your stereotypical villains having stereotypical conversations and verbal fights. Because, you know, bad guys can get along. But neither of them has any personality. And your movie is only as strong as your villain. It's not always true, but it's true for this movie. And it's not the actors' fault, they really do everything they can work with. The problem lies in the writing. And unfortunately, that's true for Hwang Jung-min also. Just because an actor plays himself doesn't mean that he automatically has a character or a personality. I was so excited to see what Hwang Jung-min's fictional self is going to be like, but after watching the movie, I still have no idea. Like for example, when he gets kidnapped, he acts way too calmly even after he learns that this is not a game or a prank. And even the villain's reaction is like, usually people are just begging for their lives, why aren't you? And I was like, oh, this will be interesting, he might have some traumas or something. It's never mentioned again after that. Now, going back to the movie's tight pacing, it really works for the storytelling, but it does disservice to the characters. There's a young girl with Hwang Jung-min who had also been kidnapped, and she's just kinda there. I would have loved to see her and Hwang Jung-min interact a lot more, you know, develop a certain bond, make us care for them even more, but it doesn't really happen. It's a plot-driven movie, but it lacks the human element, which is actually what prevents this film to become a great movie instead of just a good one. I wasn't really a fan of much of the cinematography either. Much of this film is close-up shots, which really works for the atmosphere and the claustrophobia, but it gets really annoying during character interactions. I kept feeling like I was watching a movie where someone accidentally zoomed into the frame and kept it like that. There are framing issues as well, but it's all because of these freaking close-up shots. So overall, Hostage is a mixed bag for me. It works as an action thriller, and Hwang Jung-min is amazing. I like the tight pacing and that the movie doesn't waste a single second in its storytelling. If there were better written villains and just overall better crafted characters, this would have been something fantastic. As it is, it's just good. I'm gonna give Hostage 70%. If you like action thrillers, go check it out. It's a good movie. It's just that if you've watched a lot of movies in your life, you've already kinda seen this one too. But it's good. 여러분, 오늘은 여기까지만 해요. 영상 봐주셔서 감사합니다. 이 영상 좋아하시면 구독과 좋아요 잘 부탁드립니다. See you very soon. 다음 시간에 만나요 여러분. 안녕히 계세요. Bye.